We are delighted to welcome back Prajesh Patel and Bhavesh Patel to continue our discussions on small business lending. Thank you again, gentlemen, for joining us. Prajesh, let me ask you this. With lending, and more specifically with SBA lending, how do the personal guarantees work?
So Fred, SBA, when you sign a personal guarantee with the SBA, it's actually unlimited personal guarantee. So even though, let's say you have 3 partners at 33% each, and all 3 are signing the personal guarantee, in case of a default, if you happen to be a bit stronger than the other 2 partners, and if there was a shortage of the repayment, the SBA can literally, come after you for that difference. Even though you're only 1/3 of a partner, technically it is a full guarantee that you're signing.
Sure, I understand. And I guess one of the reasons why SBA was set up was to encourage small business lending from banks, because SBA guarantees 75% of the loan for, let's just say,
Yes.
$4 million.
Yes.
The bank lends you. If there was a default, the SBA would reimburse the bank $3 million of that $4 million, so it encourages small business lending. But despite that, there's still a personal guarantee from the borrower.
Yes.
On that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and what happens if you find you can't repay? Can you speak to the bank? Can you try to work out some terms?
There are times that SBA will help the borrower with the repayment, longer repayment if there aren't enough assets to cover the shortfall.
Okay.
Yeah, SBA will work with you on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know you come across so many people that are looking to buy their first hotel or 8th hotel or other type of business. But let's give an example. Someone wants to buy a 50-room, small budget hotel. What do they need? What kind of equity injection? What type of net worth? And it's their first hotel. They've never owned a hotel before. Would they be eligible, and what would make them eligible if they would be?
So, Fred, it would really depend on the individual scenario. As long as they have good credit, good history, background in the industry, worked for a hotel as a manager and whatnot for a few years. Source of down payment, they need at least 20%. And also, the lender does not want to see no liquidity after the down payment, so you need some, at least ideally 6 months of reserves for principal and interest in the account after closing. You don't want to be wiped out.
So some working capital. So someone wants to buy their first hotel, it's $2 million, 20% down, was that $400,000? Plus some working capital.
We are able to get them some working capital at the time of the loan as well, sure. Depending on the scenario. But yeah, like I said, the lender doesn't want the borrower to be wiped out with no liquidity,
right.
After the equity injection in the project.
Yeah. Well, that is interesting, though. So it is feasible for someone that's never owned a hotel before to buy their first hotel, work it, manage it, maybe put their wife is in it, their kids are in it, and there's their established entrepreneurship for their first hotel, and then the rest is history, as we've seen demonstrated so much with the AHOA community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Bhavesh, I know as past chairman of AHOA and current chairman of the New Jersey Restaurant Hospitality Association, legislation is very important to keep unwarranted legislation from getting in the way of the entrepreneurship. Can you speak on that? What are you fighting now in New Jersey on behalf of hotels?
Well, one thing I wanted to talk about is going back to SBA. My time when I was serving as a board member and as one of the officers in AHOA with SBA, there's 2 areas that we try to work with the SBA, and one was to increase the lending limit to $5 million. And then the other area was to be able to refinance an existing SBA loan. That didn't exist. Both of those didn't exist back in, I think, 2014, 15, 16 times. And we were able, with the HOA's help, able to pass legislation to increase the lending limit to 5 million and also able to refinance an existing SBA loan. Because at that time, we were in a downturn, people needed help, there wasn't much help from the government, and so this was an area where we thought we could get the help that many borrowers wanted to know. As far as legislation on the New Jersey side, there's always something going on. And so just about a few weeks ago, at the end of New Jersey's legislation, coming in with new legislation, there was a bill passed where now when you buy a property in New Jersey, you have to retain the employees for 90 days. Then there was also a second part added to that bill where there was some disruption, service of disruption clause put in, which a lot of owners don't have control over. So this was a bad bill that was passed. It was a government overreach at its finest, and it had hotels are already hurting in New Jersey. They haven't been rebounded yet, and this bill just got thrown on us as well. So hard to do business in Jersey as a hotelier, but we're trying to do what we can. We're working with legislators right now to tweak that bill that was just passed a few weeks ago.
We are delighted to be joined by Ria Patel, Vice President of Marketing for MHO Hotels. Welcome, Ria. Great to have you here. Important question. Can independent hotels join MHO hotels?
That is a great question, Fred. Independent hoteliers have a multitude of advantages by joining MHO hotels that can put them on a competitive and unique edge. One that I want to focus on today is the fact that MHO Hotels is approved as a franchisee by SBA. We all know that the SBA works diligently to aid small businesses in getting loans at lower rates. Therefore, as an independent hotelier, individuals can take advantage of this program under MHO Hotels when you join our franchise. Not only do you gain the support and visibility that MHO Hotel provides to owners under our franchise, but you also gain the advantage of already being approved for this loan. It can be challenging to qualify for a small business loan without a strong personal score and a solid cash flow from your business. By joining MHO Hotels, you do not have to experience the hassle and worry of trying to obtain this loan on your own. We are here every step of the way. We have 5 different brands that are all SBA approved: MHO Inn, MHO Hotel, MHO Inn and Suites, MHO Suites, and powered by MHO Hotels. We have the tools to guide you no matter how big or small your hotel is, and we can cater to your specific needs.
Thank you, Ria Patel. Thank you, Prajesh Patel. That's all the time we have this week for MHO Hotel Insight. We'll be back next week for another episode of MHO Hotel Insight. Thank you for joining us.